Hello. Today, I'll be discussing Alfred Hitchcock and his role he has played on today's film society. Alfred Hitchcock is one of the most famously proclaimed directors and is very famous for his acts of suspense and dramatic scenes. Some of the movies that he has constructed include Dial M for Murder, North by Northwest, Notorious, Psycho, and many more movies that portray a sense of suspense. A clip that portrays his sense of suspense is the following, that shows an example of what a suspenseful scene looks or feels like. In this film, he states an example of suspense through the use of baseball and a bomb. Two different scenarios display two very different points of views, which is what he portrays in his films that make them so intriguing.
Four people are sitting around a table talking about baseball, whatever you like. 5 minutes of it, very dull. Suddenly, a bomb goes off, blows the people to smithereens. What do the audience have? 10 seconds of shock. Now take the same scene and tell the audience there is a bomb under that table and will go off in 5 minutes. Well, the whole emotion of the audience is totally different.
There is a huge difference between mystery and suspense, and it is defined in this video. Mr. Hitchcock states the differences clearly and helps us understand the wide difference between the two.
Words mystery and suspense. And the two things are absolutely miles apart. You see, mystery is an intellectual process, like in a whodunit. But suspense is essentially an emotional process.
Hitchcock explains suspense in specifics that helps the audience. The following clip helps us fully understand suspense and learn how he does it.
I prefer to suggest something and let the audience figure it out. The big difference between, we'll say, suspense and shock or surprise is that in order to get suspense, you provide the audience with a certain amount of information and leave the rest of it to their own imagination.
As we can see from this article, it clearly emphasizes how suspenseful he is by clearly stating the words that describe his films as suspenseful. This demonstrates his well-known suspense all around by everyone. The second article helps back up the title of Master of Suspense by referring to him as the Master of Suspense in the scholarly article itself. We can determine that the thesis of Alfred Hitchcock being the Master of Suspense is entirely true. From the articles and the videos above, we can conclude that Alfred Hitchcock, being one of the most famous directors of all time, is known as the Suspense King, with his fully renowned movies including Rear Window, Rebecca, and Strangers on a Train.